vodka makes AKs.
Well, there's a video
that
goes...
Whole bottle or half a bottle?
Whole bottle.
Whole bottle. They can do that.
There's a video going around that Robski put out on how do you get an AK. So you take a laundry bag and you put a Circle 10 magazine, a hammer, and a bottle of vodka, and you shake it 3 times, and poof, an AK pops out.
Do you remember that Jerry Michalek Father's Day video? Where he just like pours powder in his hand, puts a bullet in a case in his hand, and just squeezes it. Fucking his hand loaded, literally hand loaded bullets. It's fucking beautiful. Like.
So that's why I like Robski, and I've talked to Robski about things, and I have a little group that's on Facebook that I've tried to get more and more people up and going to.
It's kind of tough.
But it's nothing like this. I call it the Black Rifles Operators Union. Okay?
Yeah, you've been trying to get that going.
And where it started is in New Mexico we have a communist governor.
Yes,
and
you do.
Last year she was really gung-ho about trying to get red flag laws passed, magazine capacity passed, universal background checks, which she did get passed.
Yes.
And assault weapons banned.
Yep.
And for 2 months, everybody, and I mean everybody I know, a lot of the grassroots leadership dudes were down there. The NRA, shockingly to me, was there. There was a lot of people from Albuquerque in Santa Fe, because I went twice actually to Santa Fe to do stuff there, and we outnumbered the pro Habitian people is what I'm going to call them.
Yeah,
10-1 or 20-1, and they gave us exactly 2 minutes to talk.
Yep.
Okay, where those guys got unlimited time, and they had moms that demand action there.
Oh, yeah.
And what's funny about that, none of them were from New Mexico.
Right, exactly.
So they were talking about it, and they got to talk all about that stuff. Now, on the pro-gun side, or the pro-2A side, there was an alarming group of sheriffs. Imagine that. And they were all there to say, hey, we're not worried about our people. We're worried about the ones that should never have it, and those laws you're proposing, we have ways to stop that from ever being needed.
No.
And no one heard them. I mean, I watched those guys in New Mexico play with their phones and stuff, and the only thing that shocked them was when I got up there and I said, I wasn't allowed to say where I work, and I won't tell you where I work, but those who know me close enough know that I have had to deal with the blowback of a school shooting. Okay? And when I went to talk to the New Mexico House and the Senate, I said that. I was sitting there, or walked up there, and they were all looking at their phones and doing everything else. And I said, you know what? December 7th, 2017, we had an incident in northwest New Mexico. And I told them what it was and what happened. And I said, I've had to deal with the repercussions of that for years.
Yeah.
He's like, or now, okay? And I said, if you really want to stop that type of thing, why don't you talk to the sheriffs? Why don't you fund the schools? Because the schools, honestly...
Give them SROs.
Well, not give them SROs, but each year in New Mexico, it's messed up. We get an allotment of funding, and they're like, oh, cool, this year we're going to give everybody a raise. Well, they did that, and we got a little bit more funding, but not enough for all the raises they mandated. So they immediately pulled funding for other things, for those safety stuff that we had been warehousing to do.
Right.
And in doing that, they shorted school districts a lot.
A lot.
Okay? So where I have a problem with the New Mexico House and the Senate is no one listens to us.
Right.
There was 33 New Mexico sheriffs that said, we want to declare ours 2A sanctuaries, and they did it.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. The only ones that backed out were Bernalillo, Santa Fe, and I think Rio Arriba County.
Yeah.
The only 3 that did it, that backed out.
See, now, we're north of you, and we're one of the few counties that has a sheriff that will refuse a sanctuary city, which is odd.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, don't get me wrong.
And he's actually not against 2A.
He's not against it, but he is not declaring a sanctuary.
Right.
Just to the west, Cortez is a sanctuary. Right. Everywhere around us is sanctuary. Yep. But not us. Yep. So, and where we are is, it's not even purple. We're pretty blue. I mean, it's rough here.
Yeah.
Now we've had, the universal background checks since 2013. We've had a lot of the shit that is coming to your state, and nothing's gotten better.
No,
nothing's changed.
And see where I have the jump off with the universal background check is that's all fine and dandy for the people that are law-abiding citizens. They're going to do it.
That's the only people that get fucked.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay. But
people that care get screwed.
But where I have the biggest problem with this is I've adopted my kids now, and some of these firearms I have are family heirlooms.
Yes.
I have to now take them down to get an FFL when it's time to give them to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That to me is bullshit. Okay?
Not being able to own a tank is bullshit.
Well, actually, you can own a tank.
Right.
You got the funds?
Yeah, that's just it. And people ask me about all that stuff, and they say, "Are you for someone having a nuclear weapon too?" And I said, "You know what? If you can have one, yes."
You can afford
why not?
Here's the problem: is that
I play Fallout. Well, I have many nukes. I don't care.
If you understood what the hell they were saying, owning a nuke is one thing. Maintaining it for the time you have that is going to take all your money and then some. You're not going to have a nuke. Okay?
Would a destructive devices license give you the ability to build a nuclear device?
No.
Damn it.
No.
That's
a
treason if you build one of those, dude.
That's a whole other thing.
If you build a nuke, that's where the guys with the alphabet dudes come here.
Dogs?
Yeah, not the LGBT dudes, but the other alphabet dudes. When they come...
Starts with an A.
Yeah, those guys. I don't even think it's going to be those dudes. I think it's going to be the NSA.
Fuck, we're going to be getting a visit just for talking about it. Hey, motherfuckers, we know where you are.
And the thing is that if you actually talk to some of the alphabet guys, I know some FBI agents. I know some retired ones. They're great guys, and they're so anti-government in general. They're the guys that you're like, you should own a rifle. Yeah. You should own a black rifle.
They're the most libertarian type guys.
For the longest time, I thought you couldn't own a full automatic rifle, and I knew this one FBI guy. He goes, "No, you find the one you want, pay $200, and do the paperwork, and you can own it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Wow."
Those of us in this community need to keep that under wraps, though, because the $200 was started in 1936. Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Well.
Because they will increase that tax in a hurry.
The head of the ATF already wants to. He wants to catch up with inflation.
Yeah, no. Because it'll be like a $3,400 tax stamp.
Oh, yeah.
And, so we were talking about the 5 guns you should own, right? So us as instructors, to add to that, Dizzy, man, you've made a new friend. Oh, here goes the mic, watch. So as an instructor, you have to add to that, though. Because you have to have... or at least have the knowledge of everything your students are going to own.
Oh,
but for the really, really wary ones that come into class that know nothing, you need to have a suppressor too.
Mm-hmm.
You need to. A suppressor on a 22 will take somebody that is deathly afraid of a firearm and make them love them. Well, not always. I'm sorry. That's not a blanket statement, but it helps. Because it takes away the bang and the crack and the...
Were you in that class where I think it was a basic pistol class we were teaching, or CCW? Excuse me. But this lady was in there and she was talking about her sky, and she's like, "Yeah, my husband got me this sky," and she's like, "Yeah, I can shoot it and stuff." And then she was talking big the whole class, right? We get up to the range, she fires one round, and
drop
she's like,
it.
"I'm done."
Yep. And
so, put on an M&P Compact 22 with a suppressor, and she ran the rest of the day with that.
Yeah. Especially kids, getting kids into it.
Yeah,
because you can teach them all you want, but, they can hear, they love the loud bang and shit, but when you put a can on it, holy crap, it blows a kid's mind.
I want a can. It's something I have been wanting to get. I haven't done it.
You need to.
What's funny about all that is I have my middle son. He is the kid that will shoot anything. He is not afraid at all. And his uncle took him out and they shot a 30-06, and he hadn't shot one before.
Oof.
And it was a rifle that had
30-06 pistol.
It had a very bad stock design. Okay?
Yeah.
So it jarred his shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That said, that kid has shot everything under the sun, and he has no problems. And that was the only time he said, "I don't really like that."
I remember being, 10 10 or 11, you know, I wanted to shoot everything my dad had. All we had was hunting rifles and 1 revolver, 2 revolvers. He was zeroing his 270 for whatever season he was going for. I shot that bastard standing. Knocked me on my fucking ass. Look at me, I'm a scrawny fuck. Come on. It was one of the best memories I have. I love it. Go away.
See, and his uncle took that 12 gauge and
that's the shit.
He put a 3-inch slug in there, and
as you do,
and he was trying to get Aiden to flinch. And my son Aiden shot it, and he said, "Well, that has more recoil, and I don't like that much, but it was okay." It was the .6 that he was like, "That one is not too awesome."
.6 it's just kind of a nasty.
It is.
It's always kind of a nasty kick.
It's always rough round.
What's funny about that is he shot my 308, my PTRs.
Yeah.
And he'll shoot. He'll go through a case.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. So for him to actually say that, it makes me look at it and go, well, there's really something wrong with that rifle because the kid isn't afraid.
I've never found a 30-06 that is comfortable to shoot.
And it's all gas operated.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only .6 I can say that without a doubt.
And they're heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like
my tanker isn't heavy.
No.
It weighs about this, and it's .6.
Interesting.
And it's loud as hell,
mm-hmm.
but the recoil is nothing like a normal .6.
Huh.
And what I noticed about it is the reason why that is because I have tuned it for the gas because I have a separate gas setup for it. It's the only .6. You're right. I've shot other .6s and they're always abrupt. They're always unpleasant.
Right. Sighting in one, like fuck that.
Well, my 8mm .6.
That's where you get your buddy that you don't like that much. You're like, hey, bro, go sight this in
for me.
Get it on paper for me, bro.
That's when you start with a big fucking sheet of cardboard, like a 4x8 sheet. Just hit the sheet and then do all the numbers. I don't mind them. Like I've told you, my dad hunts with a 300 rum mag.
Yeah.
He shoots literally 3 rounds a year. It's not a fun rifle, but you know, you got to get something at 600 where he lives.
Yeah, right. The ranges are completely.
You have to, you know.
So, if you want to talk about recoil, the worst recoiling rifle I've ever shot is my dad has a 325 Winchester short magnum.
I love those.
And it is the only rifle I have ever shot 4 rounds through and said, I'm done. And I'm not afraid of recoil.
No,
right. But that gun, he has a Winchester Model 70 and a Winchester short mag. It is just
they're nasty. Yeah. So, like the Winchester 270 short mags?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, those are nasty too.
He has one of those too.
Ugh.
And I didn't think it was as bad as the 325.
No, it's not. It's not.
The 325 just, it's got more recoil than it needs.
Yeah.
It's for no real reason.
No.
You see the ballistics and you're like, well, why? where the hell did this get this much
I can do this with a 300.
Yeah.
Most customizable cartridge, apparently.
Which one,
Roden?
We went over a few there.
So you guys are like way out of my fucking ring of knowledge.
You know what else is nasty? Have you played with the Weatherby Magnum cartridges?
The 300 Weatherby I've shot.
Holy shit.
I haven't shot, and a 338 Weatherby.
Yep, the 338 Weatherby is nasty.
But those are the only Weatherby. The only other one I've shot that was close to that 325 was a 375 H&H.
Those are awful.
I don't remember who had it, but my dad took us out, and there was a guy who had one, and we shot that son of a bitch. And again, that was one of those ones. Like, no, I don't know why you have it. And he's like, well, I hunt elk with it. Why?
No. I can do that with my
He's saying .6, and he's right.
Yeah.
The .6 is the parent cartridge for a lot of things. The 270.
Yep.
You can actually reload the .6 brass for a 270 and not ever have to trim them.
Yep.
I have a Wildcat, an 8mm Mauser chambered for .6 brass, so it's an 8mm .6.
Shit.
What?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was made by Phil Ross when he was still alive in Farmington.
Huh.
Yeah, they're not.
So
around.
yeah, what it happened was my first deer rifle was an 8mm Mauser. Okay, and we hunted down south around Cuba, and there was some shots that were 400.
Right.
yards or better.